Hello there. It is being reported that the Brexit Secretary, David Davis, has been sidelined, with one of the Prime Minister's own advisers now negotiating face-to-face with Brussels. According to the Times, Oliver Robbins, once permanent secretary to David Davis and now advisor to Theresa May, has been holding talks with the EU Brexit negotiator, Michel Barnier, with the Times saying, "Mr Davis has been the public face of the talks, but sources say that Oliver Robbins, his former permanent secretary, is in effect running the negotiations." As the UK Brexit Secretary himself was not present at these talks, this is being taken by Brussels that David Davis has been pushed aside. But the UK Department for Exiting the EU has denied these claims, saying that this is just another example of Brussels trying to undermine the UK position. DexU also said that Michel Barnier may have been present when Oliver Robbins was talking to his own opposite number in the EU, Sabine Weyand, but that Robbins only acted with the Brexit Secretary's approval. A DexU spokesperson is quoted in The Guardian as saying, "This characterisation of the negotiations is wholly and willfully inaccurate. The Brexit Secretary meets with his counterpart Michel Barnier at regular intervals to oversee the negotiations. In November they agreed their officials would maintain a constant dialogue, so it should be of no surprise that senior British civil servants press the UK's case as set by the Prime Minister and the Brexit Secretary." And in his party conference speech in October, David Davis had referred to what he called offensive, indeed insulting briefing to the newspapers, which I take as a compliment. Now on to Labour. While the Labour Party leader, Jeremy Corbyn, says that his party does not advocate a second EU referendum, it seems that his deputy Tom Watson does. Earlier this month, when asked about a second referendum, the Labour deputy leader said that, due to the complexities of the Brexit negotiations, nothing should be ruled out. But now his boss says that we have had the referendum and that the nation came to a decision, so we will formally leave the EU. But before we all think that Labour is on our side, just note that he used the word formally, and that his party seems to want the UK to be permanently tied to the single market and customs union, which is, as all Brexiteers are aware, just remain in another guise. Also bear in mind that we now have the Labour Shadow Chancellor John McDonnell, supported by the Labour Party Chairman Ian Lavery and Shadow Business Secretary Rebecca Long-Bailey, all backing the repeal of prohibitive trade union laws post-1979, reports The Telegraph. They are all supporting a recent document from the Institute of Employment Rights, which is a think tank for the Labour movement, called A Manifesto for Labour Law. Some believe this could lead to the return of the bad old days of flying pickets and sympathy strikes, etc. 3-day weeks in another winter of discontent with uncollected refuse, unburied bodies and picketed hospitals, anyone? And now we have the SNP leader in Westminster, Ian Blackford, inviting the opposition leaders of Labour, the Lib Dems, the Greens and Plaid Cymru to a summit meeting on Monday, the 8th of January, and to work with them to keep the UK in the single market and stop a catastrophic Tory Brexit which threatens jobs, the economy and the Good Friday Agreement. Mr Blackford said, "It is time for MPs of all parties to put politics aside and work together in the national interest to protect our place in the single market and customs union. Short of retaining our EU membership, that is by far the least damaging option, the best compromise and the only way to protect jobs, incomes and workers' rights." With this sort of push, he is hoping to unite all the opposition parties and disaffected Tories to defeat the government's Brexit plan. But of course, the SNP have only one ambition, and that is to separate themselves from the UK. Well, England actually. And they know that the only way to do that is by somehow maintaining dependency on the EU. All those opposition leaders are, of course, acutely aware that staying in the single market and customs union means accepting the four pillars, etc., so in effect remaining in the EU and leaving in name only. So it will be extremely interesting to see who attends that particular summit meeting and what the public thinks of it. What do you think? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.